But let's not trip up on the rhetoric. We say we want our children to have the best education possible, to be responsible and civil to one another. But in many of our schools, we refuse to teach right and wrong. We say we want to encourage virtue and honour among the young, but we're loose with ethics and ridicule talk of morality. We say education is an investment, yet we now discount the intellectual heroes who underwrite this Western life by forcing them to join our mindless pursuit of money. We're giving up on our history.
History, I've been arguing, is a story about where we've come from and where we're going to. And stories aren't just luxuries, they're what hold a whole society together. Now, if you eliminate the passing on of these stories from generation to generation, which is really what we're doing with our education system, you've undermined the very foundation of your society.
Near the coast, a couple of hours north of Sydney, Neil lives quietly with his mum and dad. He may be just another bright suburban kid who's finding his way through life, but education has given him a map.
Once you've learnt or experienced a sort of a mathematical formula, it sort of gives you a sort of sense of happiness, but you also know that it'll be with you for the rest of your days. You think this is an experience that cannot be taken away or replicated, somewhere else. You don't feel it's a great high and then a lull after it. So I think this sort of education and thought process is far more fulfilling than watching a reality television show.
In practicing science, myself, when I think of the things that interest me, there is a spiritual dimension to it for me, a bit like what Einstein called a cosmic religious feeling. It's a feeling that the universe is ordered and it's intelligible and it's elegant, and this I find tremendously inspiring. It's not only that I look out and see the stars and the galaxies and the trees around me and I think, well, this is all very beautiful. Of course it is. There's this hidden elegance in the mathematical order of the universe.
What's wisdom, you think?
I think it's having a sense of how to deal with situations, deal with every situation, and not stuff things up, really. Just to be yourself and to have your sense of freedom and knowledge and use it and apply it in your life.
So if I'm about to enroll my kids in your school, what's going to make me feel good about putting them here,
There's 1,100 acres of bush here, which is very important to me because I think there is something intrinsically good for the human soul about getting your hands dirty, plunging your hands into the earth, growing vegetables, growing flowers. There's something inherently good about rolling down hills and climbing trees and running free. And I think also the fact that we will establish an atmosphere which is warm and welcoming and a joyful place, a place full of surprises, a place full of laughter, a place full of music and beautiful things. Surrounding people with beauty is important too.
Who cares if we pump out another herd of lawyers or another deck of finance gurus? But I care that pretty soon there'll be no one left to translate the Latin mottos of our sandstone universities.
Well, the short answer to what happens when you stop asking the big questions is you lose the capacity to generate the answers.
I want to lend my ear to great ideas, mad music, delicious writing, and undaunted imagination. all of that made the West that I loved. And children of a lesser education will only swell the tide of the West's meaningless decadence.